welcome to Crafty Little Things. Today I thought I'd just show you the next 2 episodes of Big and Little Crochet. These came today together with this note that's saying there's a delay with the production of issue 5. Sorry about the noise, just as I started cleaning began. Right, so so 5's going to be a free issue and it's going to arrive with issue 6 and 7. So next time I'll get 3 issues together. So that's building up quite quickly then, but I'll only pay for 2. So that's nice. So then here's issue 3. I'll put issue 4 aside for a moment. And it's come with some white cotton, 25-gram ball. It's come with the book, which I think I've already said I do love the books, and it's come with a storage case. It looked a bit more substantial, not substantial, it just looked, the case looked plastic on the images I'd seen of it. It's just a cardboard base. So I suppose we just build this up. Right, that's definitely the right way. I think they go like that, and that goes into there like that. These go into the sides like that, and so these go now, these go in here like so, and then that wraps over like so, and they push into those little notches like so. So there's the box, and then our book's all fitting it nicely like that. So that's nice. So I can't bear not having them in it, so I'm going to get my So there was book 1, and there was book 2, and they're the yarns that came with book 1 and book 2. That's the little introductory leaflet. They're the projects I've already done, and there's my free hooks. So I'll just store all that in there for now. So I'll pop my white yarn in there as well. Oh, lovely. So I'm building up my collection. Right, now let's have a look at book 3. Spots and stripes is the theme. I did hear from one of my viewers that said that in episode 3 they'd corrected the pattern from episode 2 for the motif. So this one's got a blushing wheel hexagon. So we're using the blush, the slate, the white that we've got this week, and the blush from last week. So don't discard your yarns once you've so they've got this pattern wrong as well, so they've included a replacement pattern. You know what, if that's the replacement pattern, I'm going to stick it in so I don't lose it. I'm just going to get a bit of tape Just use a bit of double-sided tape. Unfortunately, there's been technical error printed in the pattern for your blushing wheel hexagon. We've included this insert with the correct pattern. We sincerely apologise for this mistake. So they've done it again. But at least they realised before they sent it out. So I'll just stick that in there and then I'm not going to lose it, am I? So, should we have a little go at this or what? Sorry, that's my phone. Just one moment. So in this one then, there's, let's have a look. There's some gorgeous patterns, polka dots, pinstripes. This throw is going to look beautiful, you know, when it's done. I quite like this concept of doing this. Oh, that's pretty, isn't it? The zigzag yarn, and it's made with Debbie Bliss Baby Cashmerino, which is a really super soft yarn. Gosh, that's lovely. I think I might have to do that one. And even though that's a scarf, you could extend that into a blanket. Really, really pretty blanket. A striped square cushion. I like that. That's made in panels as well, so it won't feel as boring. Banded balls mobile. They're quite cute. And it's nice to see that somebody else doesn't always get the balls perfect. That one's got a bit of a lump on it. It could be difficult to make a perfect circle. The crochet will be the perfect circle, but it's stuffing it that's the issue. Working into the front loop, that's useful to know how to work into front and back loops. That's cute. That's a really nice rug, that. How unusual is that? To have in your... It's the waffle stitch, isn't it? That's really nice. I like that. I like the idea of having different rugs in your house that you've made yourself, because no one else is going to have them. They're cute. Circles and striped socks. These circles are made by just chaining on the surface. Sort of slip stitching on the surface. It's easier than it looks. A bolster cushion. Oh, I like that. That's like a cover for a cushion. That's nice. Again, you know, these sort of things look lovely around your house because no one else has got them. Because you don't have to stick to these colours. How to do a slip stitch. I think it would have been useful to have been told how to do a slip stitch earlier in the series. Spots and stripes throw. That's pretty. These are motifs that are stuck on, glued, that are sewn on. So they're not part of the pattern. One of the nice things about crochet is when you do sew a motif on, it does almost look like part of the pattern. That's gorgeous. It's a random striped blanket. Great for using up scraps. If you've got, I've got a big scrap bag full of balls of wool. That'd be great for using up that. And look how lovely that looks in a white room. Very contemporary, isn't it, to have a pure white room with really light floors and then that splash of colour. That is really nice. And then how to change colours, which I've shown you. Again, you could have probably done with that sooner. And the brush and wheel hexagon. So this starts off with a foundation ring. It says it's quite complicated. I don't know why, so I'll have to have a look at that and find out why it's complicated. That's 3. So excuse the ruffling because we're going on to 4. And 4 comes with this lovely soft sort of baby blue yarn. I'm going to pop that in there. And like I said before, I am going to write on them what they are, because if you remember I said that they've got names. So this is just white. I'm going to write white on it, even though it might be obvious, because sometimes white has got different names, and there are different sort of shades of white. I know that sounds crazy, but there are. And this one is called, well, that's the same pattern. It should be this silver lining hexagon. And this is sky blue. So sky blue. But obviously in 4, they've missed out the pattern. Great. They're having real problems with these patterns, aren't they? So to me, I could work that one out, I think. Shall we have a go at it? We'll have a go at it in a minute. So, let's have a look at the other patterns. Oh, that's so cute. Look at that. Oh, there's some really bright, and what's this one called? Colourful crochet. Oh, look at that. It's gorgeous. My daughter would love that. Oh, again, look at that rug. That is just beautiful. And you can make that out of old clothes, believe it or not. Nylon jersey fabric cut into 5cm wide strips. So you could use it out of fabric remnants, or you could make it out of old clothes that are made of nylon jersey. It says here, you can visit your local fabric shop and buy a selection of patterned and coloured fabrics and then wind them into working yarn. How to crochet the rug. How to use fabric, shows you how to use fabric for crochet. I've used fabric for crochet. I've used t-shirts to make crochet, a crochet yarn before. If you want to know how to do that, let me know below and I'll show you. It's really, really easy. Oh, look at that colourful bunting for a cot. The thing is, I wouldn't put it on a cot because the child could strangle itself with it. But I think it's just used there for illustrative purposes. It's a little bit careless to do that because you put it on the wall out of the baby's reach. But for illustration purposes, it looks okay. The other thing is, if you have a baby, you know, a cute nursery, but the baby's not in its cot yet, then that would be fine. As long as you haven't got an older child who might grab it. The popcorn stitch, that's a lovely stitch to learn. So that's in there. Look at that, flower and button wreath. I love that. That's a really nice decoration. You could even coat those and put that outside. That looks so cute. And once you've followed the pattern to make the flowers, of course, you could use them for anything. You could use them for coasters or motifs or anything. Colourful circles throw. I'm not such a fan of that. Maybe in different colours I would be, but I'm not such a fan of those colours. Mexican round cushion, look at that. That is beautiful. That uses one ball in 5 different colours, one of each from 5 different colours. That uses 5 balls of wool, 500 grams. That's beautiful. I really do like that. And the dog's gone back. V-stitch is a lovely stitch, very simple to do, very decorative. Hanging plant holders, they're really cute. And a bright sweater. It's much easier to crochet clothes than you think as well. Turning chains. That's when you're sewing across and you want to turn your fabric, you want to turn your work. But it does explain for lots of different stitches, so that's quite useful. Nice and straight at the edges. And so the silver lining hexagon, which you haven't got the pattern for, so let's see if we can do the silver lining hexagon ourselves before we do the blushing wheel. Everything was going so well there, wasn't it? And then it went to pot. So we'll need the white and we'll need the slate. So we're starting with the slate. So let's unwind some. just go through this as quickly as we can and see if we can get this made. So I think usually, do we normally start with a yeah, 6 chains and join with a slip stitch. So I'm going to do our slip knot. The dogs are being really noisy, and then we're going to chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Thank you. And then join with a slip stitch into the first chain, and then it looks like we've got, let me see if I can count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We've got 12 double crochets into that ring. So we'll chain 3, okay, and then so then we need to do 11. So that's yarn over, hook into the ring, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, hook into the ring, pull some yarn through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So this is a treble in the UK, a double in the US. And you want to put 11 of those into the circle, I think. Okay, so we'll just do those quickly. Because by now, this must be pretty, you must be used to doing this by now. From the other motifs. Keep pushing them around. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and that first chain 3 is 9, 10, and the last one of our 11 trebles gives us 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yes, 12 all the way around. So then I join with a slip stitch to the top of the chain 3. So for the next round, we've got 12 stitches and we've got to put 24 into them. So we're looking at doubling up, aren't we? So 1, chain 3, and then put a treble into the same space, the same stitch, a double US. Next stitch, chain 2. Next stitch, put in 2 trebles. It's got a cluster of 4. Then I'd chain 1. Next stitch, put in 2. Next stitch, 2. Chain 1. Next stitch, 2. Chain 1 and slip stitch into the top. So there we've got our this is one of our edges. So we've got our hexagon, is a hexagon, a 6-sided shape. Yeah, so then we'd finish off with that colour and we'd change to a new colour. Joined it on, I am going to do a stitch. So put your hook in, put your yarn through. So that's one in there, one in the next, that's two, one in the next is three, and then we're in the corner. So I'm going to put one in the corner, and then a space, and then one in the corner again. And then slip stitch to the top of your first single crochet or double crochet, and then just fasten that off. I'm just going to pull that through and clip that off. I'm not exactly using the best of scissors for that. Right, so I think we're getting there. I think we're getting that shape, aren't we? And so now we'll use white, and we'll more or less do what we've just done already, but this time we'll go back to doing the double crochet treble in UK terms. Join the next colour in a chain space in the corner, and I'm going to go with a white. Pull some down because you don't need a lot to get around, but cotton, acrylic does seem to sort of slide off the ball easier than cotton. Cotton's just a little bit heavier, and sometimes it can be more sort of fibrous. So I'm going into the corner space between, and I'm just going to pull it through. I'm just showing you different ways of joining a colour, and I'm just going to tie it on. Okay, and now what we'd do is we'd pull it through, chain 3 to get up to the height of that treble stitch. Right, so you get your one into the corner, and then you do one into the first stitch. Be careful you don't miss that stitch because it can be easy to miss. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1 into the corner, and that'll give you 8 along each side. Okay, chain 1 for the corner, and then put another one into the corner space, and start your next row down. Into that last stitch, and then 1 into the corner space where you began, a chain 1 and slip stitch to the top of that space and pull it through. And now it's all that remains is to do a blue row. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to pull the yarn right through. I'm going to take it back down, and I'm going to join as I go. Chain 1, put it into there for a slip stitch, but pull the new yarn through instead, and I'm going to just single, because it was a bit of a bulky mess when I doubled it up earlier. I'm just going to single that in, and then what I do is I just tie that to the yarn that I'm just finishing off. So I'd snip that off and I'll just tie that to chain 3. So we're in that corner on that stitch. So this time obviously we end up with 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then the 10 will be the corner space. So yarn over and get your stragglers and just pop one into each stitch across. So So as I said, I should have really left 2 spaces in these corners, I think. I don't know, I mean it looks quite nice and it looks quite close together, quite a dense stitch. Just see how it fares next to the other motifs, because obviously they're going to need to be around the same size, but it should be around the same size. Then they should have the same amount of stitches. 2 corners, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, the 2 corners, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, so they'll be able to be sewn together okay. Okay, so that's how I do it, but like I said, and you'll get that just slightly, it'll just be slightly bigger if you do the 2 chains every time you're doing a corner, and then it'll just get slightly bigger. But other than that, that is, I think, the same as the pattern. In fact, it might be exactly the same as the pattern. So there we go. So it's a bit of a shame, isn't it, really, that these motifs are not coming out as they're supposed to. I mean, the patterns are not as good as they're supposed to be. So we'll try the blushing wheel hexagon as well. I'll do that another day and see if we can get that one right. But other than that, we're building up a nice little collection here. And like I say, while you're waiting for your books collection to fill up, you can keep your yarns and your finished projects and your free gifts and stuff. You can keep those in there, so it's all nicely kept together for the time being. So yeah, not too bad. Okay, join me soon for another project.